Life awakens in Hockley, Texas, and the morning routine begins as horses and humans prepare for the riders who will soon arrive.
You want to go see Broadway?
45 miles away, a young girl is getting ready for her favorite part of the week.
That's how I wake her up. I said, Emily, let's get ready. We're going to go see Broadway, your horse.
13-year-old Emily Martinez has many struggles to overcome in a life doctors warned could be tragically short.
Doctors told me she had a chromosome disorder like 2 weeks after she was born. Of course, I didn't know what that was. I think back then I took life as like one day at a time. I kept her alive one day, so that's good. The next day I tried the same thing.
You ready? 1, 2, 3, up. Don't you stop.
Today, Emily has something to live for.
David, go ahead and show me your 2 points.
Founded 30 years ago, SIRE offers therapeutic riding to over 220 clients each week at 3 locations across Houston. Although their diagnoses are as varied as autism, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, and spinal cord injuries, one thing is the same. Life looks different from the back of a horse.
When you're in a wheelchair and you're looking up at everybody all the time, that can be really frustrating. But when you're on the back of a horse and now you're looking down, these things that we take for granted but are really powerful in the lives of our riders.
So powerful, in fact, Emily's mother contracts an ambulance to drive her daughter over an hour each way, just so she can ride.
Nice and close to the ramp.
It was amazing when I went over there to SIRE. For the first time I realized that my baby could have some fun in her life.
Right here, buddy.
Still, the relationship between horse and rider is about much more than fun. This is serious therapy with often dramatic results.
Families too, they come out here and they're like, wow, I never thought my child could sit up independently on their own, and now they're sitting on the back of a horse. So what else can we, where else can we go from there? So there's always hope.
We're going to help her with our touch cue, so ready?
SIRE's therapeutic trainers are among the best in the country, including master instructors with decades of experience.
Let's let him put it in.
The cost is $6,400 annually per student, but thanks to the generosity of donors who cover most of that, clients pay only $45 a week, even less for those who can't afford it. Overall costs are kept down because volunteers are the heart of SIRE. Hundreds of them dedicate thousands of hours, walking countless miles.
I believe one day I walked 14,000 steps, and that was on a Thursday, and that's only 3 classes.
With all of the smiles and all of the laughter, it's hard to tell who gets more out of the relationship, the riders who gain better health, or the volunteers who gain inspiration.
I have to admire them that you see people that come in here on wheelchairs and they get on the horse and they're in complete control. In a way, I kind of want to be a rider like them, to have that courage to be that fearless.
18-year-old Emily Hughes used to be quiet and shy, but after 9 years of riding, she's a confident young woman who knows what's important at SIRE.
The horse is all good and the people great. He knocked it over.
Judith Hunter's deeply autistic son has the mental age of a 6-year-old and can hardly communicate with words. When he was a child, Judith had no idea how to reach him.
I felt compelled to find an answer.
Look forward.
That compulsion led Judith to SIRE over 25 years ago, where Nathaniel became the first rider with autism, and where Judith first saw her son communicate with a horse.
He understood that what he did with the reins talked to the horse. So here you get a child who's nonverbal, who's just learned horse. He was realizing that he could communicate with this amazing animal, and that was profound. And I think that he decided at that point if it was worth it to communicate with his horse. Maybe it was worth trying us.
It was a breakthrough in a place where breakthroughs happen all the time.
Girls cracking up laughing because the horse is sneezing, and that whole body's shaking. And I was talking to the mom, and the mom just stopped with this really what I thought was kind of a horrified look on her face. And I'm like, Phyllis, what's the matter? And she said, in the 7 years I've had that child, I've never heard her laugh.
By now you must be wondering what the horses think of all of this. Good question.
I've actually asked the horse. A student was having a very difficult day one day, and ran back to the car and shut himself in the car. And so we took the horse back to the car and we opened the door. And we brought the horse to the door, and the horse, and the child was crying. And the horse put his whole head inside the car and nuzzled him. And we were all standing there in awe, because obviously the horse was telling the child, it's okay.
A simple message SIRE has brought to those in need since 1983. Life is always better with a horse.
I see horses as being instruments of God. Whenever I see Emily's horse, I am so grateful that God put on earth animals like a horse that can help my baby